WWE 2K24 just got a ton of universe mode updates after the latest patch 1.08. I'm Matt from Assemble. Let's get into all of these updates, the specific ones just for universe mode. We're starting things off with the ring announcer. This question has been coming up in the comments a lot here on the channel of how do I actually select the ring announcer. In the latest patch notes, they did say that it is optional now. You can go into your show and you can actually assign one of the three ring announcers, either by going by Mike Rome, or you get Samantha Irvin, or you can get Alicia Taylor, or just set it by default. Now, what I tried to do was go in to edit my show. I originally went to just see if it was there, where you can change up the arena, you can change up the commentary team, the referee, but there is no option there to change the ring announcer. What they have done for this update is it's actually in the individual show that week into the individual match. So it is not just assign it to Monday Night Raw and you get the announcer you want. It is going to be actually match by match, going in there and selecting it, hitting options, going in to edit the match, selecting the ring announcer, and that will be the announcer you get for the match. This is a great update on one hand because it's giving people the flexibility of what they want in universe mode, which was, say, giving Alicia Taylor to SmackDown for your matches. The big downside for this is the work it takes to make it work where you have to go in and manually do this for every single announcer. It's tedious because you have to do this for every single match on your card. I also tested out one of the new updates where it said, hey, if you have a custom arena, you set it to Raw, SmackDown, NXT, that ring announcer is going to be there by changing the show name. I tried with just the regular Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown arenas that are in the game, and I went in to just change it to say NXT as the name, or Smack or SmackDown, and I named it that to see if it would even trigger having a different ring announcer. It does not. Now, those weren't custom arenas, those were standard arenas. So in theory, you should be able to upload a custom Monday Night Raw where Samantha is going to be the ring announcer and it will work. And likewise, having Alicia Taylor on SmackDown with an updated 2024 SmackDown arena, it should work. Tedious, glad it's there. Just not, it's so close, isn't it? The next update we got comes with match tables and the fixes there. Before we do that, we got to hear from today's sponsor. Magic Spoon is awesome. It's soy free. It's got so many different options.
Thank you, Daddy.
Naturally flavored. There's nothing artificial. It's cereal reinvented. It's all the same great taste that you remember, but upgraded with grown-up ingredients and nothing artificial.
Thank you, Daddy.
And 4 to 5 net grams of carbs for every serving.
Thank you, Daddy.
Not having any luck. If you're carb conscious, it's great for a low carb lifestyle. And 140 calories per serving.
Thank you, Daddy.
That's why I hide my favorite one. Click the link below and grab a variety pack today. And be sure to use the promo code ASSEMBLE at checkout to get $5 off any order. Or go to magicspoon.com/assemble. It's all I have left. In match tables, you can change all of the different match settings you want for every single show, every single PLE you have, customize it the way you want. Now, generally, when we've done this in the past, it doesn't always stick. You don't always get the triple threat, the fatal four-way, the battle royal, the gauntlet match as a standard in there for your matches. For my playtest right now, it seems to be working. This may not be universal. People may be having issues still. At least on my end with a brand new universe, I've been able to go in there, change up the match table, save it the way I want, and have it implement and work. I tested things out with Money in the Bank PLE because what I found in the past, even though it defaults to having 2 Money in the Bank matches on the card, it only ever triggers one of them. So before the PLE, I went in, I changed it to make sure that it was going to happen 100% of the time. By default, it is set at 60%. Made sure that I had 2 of them. They are championship matches. They're championships because technically it's for the Money in the Bank briefcase. When I did this and went to Money in the Bank, it worked. I actually got a men's and a women's Money in the Bank ladder matches, and when I went to check the news update afterwards, it actually listed who won Money in the Bank. That worked. Do cash-ins work though? I still cannot get cash-ins to work in universe mode or regular play. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's me, but I can't get that part to work. You can still announce a cash-in ahead of time, but having a championship match on Raw, I can't get the Money in the Bank holder to actually cash in. Now we talked about match cards for universe mode. When you're simulating now, one of the updated fixes that they addressed or said they addressed was going to be with the entire match card that you get on a week-to-week basis. It seems more balanced. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like I'm seeing better balances of matches as I'm simulating through week to week on Raw and SmackDown and my PLEs. I'm not getting rehashed with like 4 Hell in a Cell matches. I've simulated to WrestleMania. The card actually makes a lot more sense. It doesn't seem all over the place. It doesn't feel like I'm just getting singles matches. I think that they are starting to figure out the balancing issues with this. Building up your match cards week to week does seem better. So if you can go in there and change the match table you want, switch up the PLEs as you go, and make sure that they're kind of built the way you like, you're probably going to start seeing a more consistent card. Also, another fix they did, and I don't know why this was an issue to begin with, but it was there since like day one. The championship match name stipulation it would have on all of your shows. Every single week you would have Raw and SmackDown, and it seemed like every match listed said it was for a championship match, despite it not being that way. They also were having like no championship matches, period, but I believe in the last patch update, they started to sprinkle in a few more title matches every single week, depending on the rivalry you have set up. But that logo, that little lettering there that says championship match, that is now gone. So they fixed it where, hey, it's a title match. It says it's for the title. Another piece added in for universe mode is going to be with live event arenas. So one cool thing they did this year, finally, is they're having the Japan arena, the Japan hall, and WWE live arena. Those two shows, they are now optional to set up as a major or minor show in universe mode. You can select them. They weren't visible there before, but I can go and select WWE live, set up all the pieces for the custom images, the arena itself, commentary, logos, transitions, everything for WWE live, make that a major or minor show. It's part of my calendar. Finally works, which is a great bonus. Now let's talk about the roster for a second. One of the fixes that they talked about for this latest patch has to do with saving your roster, having things apply into universe mode in that save. So stick with me because this is a big one to explain here. When you start up a brand new universe from scratch or an existing one, you might actually see these changes take effect. When you exit out and go to the main menu and you head over to manage the roster and you see every single person listed from AJ Styles, Chad Gable, Becky Lynch, Bayley, and so on, they all have their respective traits, whether they're heel or babyface, how the crowd reacts, who their managers are, and who their allies are. One of the fixes I found, and I tested this out, if I now go in and I select Chad Gable, Bayley, Becky Lynch, and I modify all of their traits so that they are going to be heel, babyface, what they currently are in WWE. Even for Chad Gable, removing Alpha Academy as managers. Bayley, making her a face and taking away damage control as her managers and allies. Made those changes to a bunch of different superstars. Then I went into my already active universe mode and it applied. So when you do those changes in the roster menu, it asks you to save to regular play, and you want to save it to any of your universe mode saves. Select those and then go check out your universe mode. It should have applied. This feature was always there. It just never worked. Now, sure, you can be in universe mode as you already are and go through and change out all the roster, everything you want. And you might say, well, why do I care? I'll just be in universe mode. Who cares about what's going on in exhibition? It's if you play both a lot. If you want, for example, your existing roster in regular play to mimic what is already happening on WWE TV, for example, so that all the allies, the championships, everything is set up kind of what WWE is doing. It's now going to apply to universe mode if you want it to. This does not, unfortunately, work for tag teams. I tried to delete tag teams. I tried to modify teams. I tried to create new tag teams. It does not transfer those new teams or the modifications you made to tag teams over to your universe mode. Doesn't work that way. But I find for me, this does save me quite a bit of time, so I'm not always feeling like I gotta go in and change everyone in all of my universe saves. For a lot of people, they have multiple universe modes set up, and then they gotta go in and tweak every single person in every single one. Now you can go to the main menu in the main regular play, change out the roster, you'll get the updates going into universe. Some things to note with this though. If you set up, and I tried to trick the system to see if I could get it to kind of break. If you go and do all these changes, and then you set up a new universe from scratch after the fact, the changes will not be there. What I suggest you do is go set up new universe, have that first week of Raw be active from the main menu. Once you're ready to set up Universe, back out and do all of your roster modifications from there in the regular play menu. Then it will apply to all your Universe modes. And the other thing I noticed, maybe it was there, but I didn't see it for the last little while. Updates to the teams, to the associations, the allies and everything within Universe mode and the regular play roster, but specifically looking at Universe. I created a brand new Universe, and when I went in and I checked out the roster in there, I noticed who was associated with who. For example, Street Profits are allies with Bobby Lashley. That wasn't the case before. A-Town Down Under, they are now both respective managers for each other. So Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, they are set up already as managers. They're not set up as a tag team, but they are associated in there. Baron Corbin, Braun Breaker, they are both set up as allies in there respectfully. It didn't remove teams, so it didn't go as far as to say Bailey is not associated with Damage Control. That is still the case. But up to, it kind of feels like almost the draft, right before the draft, it seems like they went in there and they tweaked a bunch of the allies and managers. But once again, it didn't remove one. So like Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, they're still managers in there. But again, if you go to the main menu and remove Sami as a manager for Kevin Owens and vice versa, it will now apply to Universe mode, so you don't have to keep making those changes. But what updates have you found in Universe mode? And with this new ECW Punk pack, there's a lot more to find out. And if you want to know about those patch notes that just came out, full deep dive for you right here on everything. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. I will see you on the next one, guys. Bye.